Y'all see that? It's for the thumbnail right there. Yes, today I am 4 years sober. Praise God. It is raining right now. The Dollar Tree. I'm gonna get some stuff. Thanks for the thumbs up. I appreciate you, whoever you are. First, giving honor and glory and praise to the Most High for giving me another day, for waking me up this morning, letting me see this beautiful day, and giving me another chance to be better today than I was yesterday. Thank you for the thumbs up, whoever that is. Look at Mixed Chick. CDT, let's go. Hey, A-teams. I caught the tail end of who was at Couches Live, and then I started watching somebody else as I was driving home, and I was like, you know what, let me just get on live real quick. So you guys are just joining me. I picked up this chip today. As you can see in Roman numerals, it looks like 6 on the screen, but it's actually 1 IV. I have 4 years of sobriety, and unfortunately I can't drink like everybody. I can't just have one, okay? That ain't how I do it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when I turn up, I turn up. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? I can't. I wish I could. And sometimes I be thinking, yo, when my son gets out of the house and I finally go and get my penthouse overlooking the water or the mountains, either one, I'm gonna have me a drink. But guess what, guys? I can't do that. Because me, whenever I do anything, I go big. And drinking was one of those things. I would go big. No doubt. Sorry, I'm puffing. So yeah, I picked up, and usually whenever you pick up a chip, I usually pick up a chip every other year, but one of my friends in the AA program said, nah, Mo, you got to pick up a chip and tell your story, how you did it. So in AA, we talk about experience. We tell about our drinking experience. We talk about strength and how we got over it. And then we talk about, we give others hope, you know? Hey, Pavel. Girl, sloppy. Sloppy ain't the word. Your girl Mo was wild with it, but I was respectable, you know what I'm saying? Like, I knew better if I was around my commander or something like that. I knew not to drink. And that's the thing. I was bad because I would just say I'm not going to drink during this occasion or during this ceremony or whatever it was. I just didn't have one, because once I had one, it was a wrap. So I was more of a closet drinker. I would go home and get it in big time. I would have a lot of people saying, Mo, you're not an alcoholic. You don't know. Now, when I was overseas, I was in them clubs. I was there, okay? My friends from Korea and Germany, they know what's up. But here, my last duty station, I was here for 3 years before I retired. Nah, I would get my drink on the way home, and that was that. And I drank every day. And when I retired, it was even worse. I started smoking weed and drinking. Hey, Marta. You wearing your Stranger Things? You love that show, huh? I'm getting ready to hit the gym. All right. Enjoy. Get your thug thizzle on, man. Get that exercise on. Couch, I want to know what your real name is. What is your first name? I promise I won't call you by that, but I'm just curious. 18 too. I want to know what 18's name is. What are you guys' real name? You landed your first heel flip. Congrats. Yeah, the gym is good for you. Good exercise. And when I got sober, I said, okay, what can I do to stay sober? Right? I was going to church. I was going to the gym. I was drinking my water. I was exercising. I was doing all the things. I was trying to get sleep, doing all the things, taking my medication, you know, my mental medication. I was doing all of that. And None of it was working. So I decided to go to an AA meeting because I grew up in AA. My mom was an addict. So my mom would go to NA, Narcotics Anonymous. And so I grew up going to those meetings, sitting in the back, listening to the people cuss and talk about life and their situation and stuff like that. You know, she was always active in the program. And so I was like, let me just go to an AA meeting and see what it do. And it changed my life because the principles that you live by doing the 12 steps can be used in. Everybody should go to AA. Honestly, I believe everybody should go through the steps and work that, because it's just good for the soul and it makes you a better person. Oh, that's your government name, Riaz? Riaz, the only one that answered me. Everybody else, like, I'm not telling you my damn name. It's all good. Yeah, 2026 is among us, guys. So we got to start doing things differently and better. Yes, hit the like button. Welcome to the new viewers. That's right. If you're new, thanks for the 20 that are in the chat. I know your name is Cedric. I know that. We figured that out a while ago, man. We figured that one out already. But I don't know Mixed Chick's real name. Me and Mixed Chick were talking on the phone and I don't even know her name. But I don't know Couch and I don't know 18's real name. And Mo is just my nickname. My first name is Muinda. M-U-I-N-D-A. It's African. Oh, Samantha. Okay. I think I heard somebody call you Samantha one time. What up, BDBG? GP? What it do? But you guys, I was out there. Really, really out there. And when you are a parent raising a child and you're an alcoholic, no good can come from that. When I decided to put the bottles down, there was a lot of things that I had missed being drunk. Certain things about my son that I didn't realize that needed attention. You know what I'm saying? And so the clarity, the mental clarity from putting down that bottle has been astounding. I mean, I see things so much more clear. I can see the BS coming from a mile away just because my mind and my soul is a lot better. I still have vices, as you can see. And sometimes I think, well, damn, I done already gave up drinking. I ain't been intimate with nobody in years. Like, what, you know, let me have my coffee and my smoke. You know what I'm saying? But eventually I will have to put that down too. And that's something I've been praying about, but it is so hard because it's like, I need a vice. Carl Johnson, how are you? Say, oh, prophet, he is God, one, and individuals. God, the sustainer, he is needed by all. Everybody, if you think you don't need the Most High and you're relying on self, you're highly mistaken. Do not lean unto your own understanding. He has never had an offspring, nor was he born, and there is none comparable to him. That's right. What up, Thunder? But yeah, my life changed drastically. One thing I can say too, and which is I shared just recently when I picked up this 4-year chip, was that I learned to make amends quicker. I learned to say sorry, I apologize faster than I normally would. Before, my ego and my pride is so huge, I had a problem with apologizing. I had a problem with accountability, right? Like a lot of women do. And that was a huge problem for me, taking accountability. And instead of apologizing, you know what I would do? I would just give you money, or I would buy you a gift. But now that I'm sober, and now that I work the steps as far as making amends, making a daily amends, doing things the right way, I apologize sooner. And guess what? That saved me a lot of money. You know, thank you, Thunder. Life is great. I lost 20 pounds just like that when I stopped drinking. Because you know, alcohol turns into sugar and then it sits in your body, especially if you're not working out or burning it off, right? But even with me exercising, I still was big. because of that alcohol. But life is good. Life is great. 2 things I know for sure. You're a great person and an amazing mom. Thank you. Oh, you did? I didn't see it. I missed it. Oh, man. Look at ChelseaLynn. I missed it. I didn't see that. But I'm not going to be on here long. I just wanted to say hi to everybody. And to brag on the fact that I have not had a drink in 4 years. Is it easy? No. But is it possible? Absolutely. My new favorite scripture is Luke 1:37 that says nothing is impossible with God. With God, you can do anything. I stopped drinking right before my actual birthday. Hey, Aaron Laura. Right before my birthday. My birthday is on New Year's Eve. Everybody parties on New Year's Eve. Everybody. There's always something to do. And I always drank for any occasion. Just to drink. If I'm having a bad day, I would drink. If I was having a good day, I would drink. If my son was getting on my nerves, I would drink. If work was shitty, I would drink. If I got a promotion, I would drink. That's what alcoholics do. We bury our head in the bottle. And I was in the worst relationship ever. I had attracted the worst of the worst. You hear me? That's why I ain't been with nobody in almost 4 years. Because that relationship, that was a doozy. And that was all because where I was at in my life, the place that I was in, emotionally, spiritually, financially, mentally, in the dumps. I was low vibrational. So my low vibration was vibrating to other people that was low. I met my match. And it was horrible. And one day I woke up and I was just like, I can't keep doing this. Ooh, I can't keep doing this. I was the same way. Everything calls for a drink. It don't matter what somebody, cut you off in traffic, go home and drink. Erin says, great job. My mom was an alcoholic my whole life. 15 years sober now. Congrats to your mom. Shout out to her. That's beautiful. And she's making a daily amends. She can't make up for that lost time. But what she can do is be a better person now. That's the point. When God wakes us up, he's just giving us another chance to be better and to do better than what we did yesterday. I don't drink no soda, no coffee, only water and electrolytes. I know that's right, ChelseaLynn. I drank every day for a year after my husband died. We numbed the pain with alcohol. That's right. That's right. I'm glad you're not doing that no more, to numb that pain. Because that's all it is. Alcohol was my medicine for everything. That was my cure-all. You know what I'm saying? But it's literally poison to the body. You can't see their comments? I can see them. Relationships are overrated. Sometimes they are. They are. Good morning, Logical, and everyone. Hey, Michelle. That's right. I got it now. Auntie 18 in these YouTube streets. Was it the sweaty? No, it wasn't. I tried to date him, the white guy, when I was sober. And I knew coming into this program, you also learn, just how to be and how to operate in life. And one thing I know and that I understand now is that when you pick a partner, you yourself have to be responsible for the way that partner feels and thinks and things like that. We can't control how they feel, but we can control our part. And we have to make sure that we are being honest and righteous when it comes to being with somebody. That's a huge responsibility, taking on a relationship. And a lot of people are just thinking about me, not the other person. And I know that person wanted more than what I could give. I wasn't willing to give up my body. I wasn't willing to do, you know what I'm saying? And he dangled the carrot because he was pretty successful and things like that. And, would offer certain things monetarily, and I could be there for your son. And he's a great guy. He is a great guy. but I knew that I wasn't able to give him really what he wanted, and therefore I had to break it off, because I had to be responsible for how he felt as well. And I knew that I wasn't, so I didn't want to waste his time, take his time, and things like that, you know. And that's one thing that stopped me from getting into relationships now, because I understand it's going to take more than just me jumping in and just getting what I want out of it. I have to be mindful of what this person needs as well. And that's a really hard thing. Also, being sober and dating is really different, because I could use alcohol to loosen up, you know, and what I thought was being more present, right? And showing a different side of me. And also now, men also know now that alcohol is something that can't be used to get me to loosen up, to get to that point that they want, which is what's between my legs. So when that's off the table, smoking or alcohol, I believe it makes it harder for men to want to be in that, because how am I going to get her in bed if she's not drinking? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's weird and it's complicated, and I don't know. I'm not sure. But dating and being sober, you know, also when I stopped drinking, I was like, well, I gotta substitute this drinking for something. I'm already working out. So I was like, I'll just be a freak. I'll just have sex. That'll make up for me not being able to drink, right? I couldn't find nobody, y'all. And then the ones that would be willing, I was like, hell no. I ain't going back to that. Thunder says, I used to smoke stogies, then I moved to cigarettes. I needed a cigarette for everything: breakfast, lunch, dinner, bathroom, after the bar, or a stressful day, but it's been years. Good job. I'm gonna get there one day, but I know how you feel. Couch, you don't need all that stuff to create a Discord, by the way. Just email and use username. This Couch is doing what he can do, okay? Couch gonna use his phone to go live. He gonna struggle stream. He ain't trying to learn nothing new, and I feel him. But yeah, it really don't take that much, Couch. Thanks, Thunder. We got some trolls. Get him out. Because I ain't listening to no Indian Christmas music. If you don't get out of here with that. You're supposed to be cleaning your closet. Mike Love in the building. Hey, Michael Love. Yeah, that was Thermostat Man. He was older, though. He was nice. He was a really sweet guy. All the verticals don't show you the chat when you're... That's weird. You must have an Android. I'm just kidding. Thank you so much, Michael Love. Logical, you better not call me Michelle again. I'm sorry. Michelle W. was in here. I thought that was her. I'm so sorry. Facts, I changed a lot of who I was because of my relationship. Yeah. You have to change. You have to change, and you have to just take them into consideration. You know, especially when it comes to communication. I'm learning that you really do have to tailor the way you would speak to who you're speaking to. Because if you're dealing with somebody who's sensitive, you have to change your tone. And that's really just care and concern for the other person. It's not you simping or you being different or you trying to... No, it's really about being considerate of who it is that you're communicating with. You know? I asked my son to do a task, and no matter what it is, I gotta hear, Mom! He either needs clarification or he just wants to tell me a story. And sometimes I'm just like, I just told you to do, can you just knock this out and then come later while I do what I'm doing? But no. And so sometimes I'll be like, what? You know? But for the last 2 days, he's done that. And I thought to myself, no. Part of having the fruits of the Spirit or operating in those, you have to have patience. So I've stopped myself from yelling. Just, yes, son. What is it? You know? Because I need to be patient. Because if I'm not patient with him, he not going to be patient with me. And the Most High definitely ain't going to be patient with me, because he gifted me the honor of being a parent, which I love more than anything in this world. So I have to operate in the fruits of the spirits when I'm dealing with the people that I love. Does dangling the carrot mean a wedding ring like Carrot Diamond? No, it was money for something that I needed fixed. Hey, Mara. It does look like Michelle, though. I thought Michelle was in here. I am so sorry, because her name comes out like that, and it's just, you know, my bad. Love you though, Mike. Mike Love. Thanks, Ty Pro. I appreciate you. What's good, Lee? What's up, Definitely Not? Thanks, Mara. Name that tune. I missed it too. I stopped drinking and smoking for a few years. It made dating awkward. It does. It makes dating awkward, because when you're sober, you're relearning who you are. I was a whole nother person when I was a drinker. Even when I was at work and not drinking, I still had that drunk mind. And my mind was always, I need to get a bottle. I need to get a bottle. I got to make sure I get a bottle before the store closes. Like, I planned my life around that bottle. And when you're drinking and you're on a date, or when you're talking to somebody, you loosen up, you know. But now that I'm 4 years sober, I'm learning to be who I am naturally at the core, you know. So I have no problem meeting people, but my problem now is that I expect too much, and I expect people to be who I am, and that's just not gonna happen. So I have to accept people for where they are and who they are. But yeah, it's awkward dating. Make sure y'all watch my 6. I'm at the Tree in front of a bus stop. So yeah. There you ain't playing you with alcohol. He better be able to spit game like a mofo, okay? They was looking for your Thai Pro. They were looking for ya. Yeah, you need to stop. Yeah, I need to stop smoking too, Mara. Is it Mara or Mara? Chelsea, dang, for real, that sound fun. Hold up, no, I think I know you. What up, Scholar? Oh, snap. Scholar, I can't believe you found me in that other chat. Wow, boy. You and your aliases. I got me a troll account, too. I was moving and grooving. Ty Pro got moves to make. Couch, I'd love to help. Take him up on it. Take him up on that offer. Gum. Yeah, reach out. India Christmas music sounds intriguing. Check it out then. See what's to it. Not the Indian Christmas music, terrible. They're like, I'll give you a like if you listen to this Indian Christmas music. No thanks. I'm good with my R&B Christmas jams. Mo, I had to tell Couch because someone said to him he had to have a server and made it sound. You don't need no server for Discord. The reason I won't get on Discord is because I have enough apps, y'all. YouTube is enough. I got IG, which I don't really be on like that. And then I got TikTok because I sell my books on there, but I don't go on TikTok. I need to so I can clip some of them things and then make videos about it. Because a lot of content creators are getting lots of views by clipping TikToks and then talking about it. So I might do that. But it ain't that complicated. Thunder says my substitution for my smokes was caffeine. Now for me, that's hard as hell to shake. Yeah, I was going coffee free for 2 weeks, and then it's just like cigarettes or just like alcohol. Once you pick it up, you just start right back like it was nothing. But the reason I will never start back alcohol is because when you stop and then you go back, it's always 10 times worse. Just listening to the stories of people who left the program, who stopped, who went back drinking, every time they went back, it was 10 times worse than what they were. Whatever your last drunk was is going to be worse than that. And I just can't imagine that. Plus, my pride is too big. I can't go back in the rooms talking about I slipped up, I drank. Let me get a white chip. I'm not doing that. So, you have an... She said, yeah, I got an Android. Wow. Raj and them, huh, Couch? Listening to the cats. Change comes from within. Absolutely, G Honda. Absolutely. It's all about mindset. It's all about mindset. It's all about where you want to be inside. Who are you? And that's one thing too I've learned. I've gotten more knowledge of self. I understand me. I understand what triggers me. I understand what motivates me. I know the Most High on a whole nother level than when I was drinking. There was no way. Yeah, great stream earlier. I got to go check it out. Make sure you leave that up, Couch. Caffeine is strong as fuck after a couple of days off. Honestly, everything is poison. It is, unfortunately. When you do too much, it's poison. Doing too much. Everything in moderation. I used to talk mad crazy and never know how I sounded. Lesson learned. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. We got to be careful how we speak to people. Especially these days. People are unhinged. Somebody will knock you out just for saying... So we got to be careful how we speak to people, especially the people that we claim we love. I don't drink alcohol, no soda, no caffeine, only water, electrolytes. It takes so much discipline for me to not have caffeine or coffee. Yeah, CDT says I saw how my actions affected my partner and I was ashamed of myself. So I had to change. It's hard seeing the person you love in pain because of your actions. Absolutely. Yeah, and like I said, we can't take it back. All we can do is do right from this day forward. Just do better. Just one drop in the bucket of doing something different every day will change your life. Absolutely. A-Team says, baby, when I prayed and fasted for the fruits of the Spirit, I was testing beyond limits. You know it. Satan will come in all different forms to get you to go back to that nature of just popping off. But you have to resist. You have to resist. And all will be better. We pray. That's what we do. We pray when we're in the middle of turmoil. Yeah, when you're trying to do better, Satan gonna bring people in your life and use people to test you, to get you off your square. But we can't let them do that. Chelsea says, my dad visited for Christmas and had a cup of coffee with him. I wanted to snatch that from him so bad. Stay strong. Stay strong. Hey, herbs and animals are life. Do you know our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? Yes, I do, Scott. Absolutely. If I had a wrench, Strew the New would be out of here. Exodus 30, 22 through 33. Cannabossum is cannabis in holy anointing oils. I thought you was going to tell me what the scripture was. I smoke, but drinking throws me off my square. Yeah. Mr. I think for myself. Hey, how are you? Yeah, drinking. And that was the thing too. I started when I retired from the military. I said, okay, I ain't smoke. Before I even joined the military, literally I can count on one hand how many times I smoked weed. My ex, the one that went to prison and that died a few years back, he was a heavy smoker. He would wake up smoking, go to sleep smoking. And I remember one time we went to Magic Mountain, that's Six Flags in LA. And I said, babe, please, just for this day, can you just not smoke? That man made the whole day miserable. We were both, I have a picture of us standing there taking a picture next to whoever. We went to Universal Studios. And he just looked so miserable. I was miserable. He was just an a-hole the whole time because he couldn't smoke. And I said, oh my God, this is what you're like when you don't smoke? It changes your mood. Drinking and smoking can change your mood. But I didn't smoke with him like that. And he would have bundles of just sacks and sacks and sacks and ounces and just... And I love the smell of weed. The smell of weed never bothered me, but whenever I would smoke it, if I had a migraine, he'd be like, here, just hit this, it'll take your headache away. It made it 10 times worse. I was like, oh my God. And then one time I smoked and we had ate Burger King earlier and then I had some Chinese food and then I smoked after and I threw all that up. So all of my memories from smoking were pretty bad. And this is when I was a teenager. I was like 18, 19. The first time I smoked weed was with my cousin and we didn't have a bong or papers, so they cut an apple, made an apple core, put the thing there, and we smoked it from the apple. And that was fun. That was my first time. I was 17, and that was a cool experience because it was me and my girls. But I never had really good experiences with smoking, so it wasn't my thing. But I was a square. So when I came in the military, I admitted, hey, yeah, I've smoked weed before. They're like, how many times? Somebody told me, you better not put more than 3. So I put 3. She was like, so you experiment, right? Yeah, I was like, yeah, I experimented, right? But I should have just never even said I smoked. So my brother's a heavy weed smoker too. And he's got locks all the way down to his butt. And he's a smoker. So when I came back home, he was like, we gonna smoke. At this time, I'd already been sober for a year. And our mom had passed, and my brother was like, I always say my son because he's 15 years younger than me. My mom had him when I was 15. So that's like my baby. Our mama just died, nigga. We smoking, we drinking. And I was just like, bro, I can't. And I thought maybe I would slip up because I'm like, listen, my mother just died. This is one of those. This is a good reason. If I was to, I earned this type shit. But I was strong. I didn't. I went to a meeting while I was there, and I stayed strong, y'all. And yeah, I wish my mom could see me in this frame as a sober person, because my mom was in and out of sobriety. I never drank or smoked weed around her at all. I was respectful, you know. She would come to live with me for like 3 or 4 months and then go back home to Cali, stay with me and then go back and forth. And I would have to hide my bottles, you know. I wouldn't drink in front of her just out of respect. But couch, I was truly embarrassed when I realized what I was doing. Yeah, Jesus Christ was anointed with cannabis oil. I did that in the word, but A-Team, can you confirm that, ma'am? I even stopped smoking. Now CBD. But that'll probably go too, yeah. I haven't had hard liquor since. I'll drink my brews, but no hard liquor, yeah. Have some beer and smoke your weed. When I got out of the military and I said for 1 year I'm not doing nothing, I'm not working, I'm not whatever, right? Because I saved up, I paid off all my debt. Thanks to my brother Joe. Paid off I had 0 debt. And I had saved 30 grand. And then I had, you know, my other money coming in, so I was good, so I could just chill. And I had a beach, I had a house that was walking distance from my house, and I shouldn't have sold that house. I was drinking and still just in whatever, and I was very spontaneous and impulsive. So I would do things without thinking it through, right? I still had that brain. And I would drink and I would smoke. And not a good combination. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm thinking about the times when I would drink and smoke, and dumb. Just dumb. That's right. Salute to you, CDT, for the growth. Alias, I never quit, but I never drank much. My tolerance is so low, I go now from stone cold sober to head in the toilet sick. No buzz, no fun. Yeah. Some people can't handle it like that, you know? So you know your limitations. Eye-opening for sure when you start to see the effects that it has on the people around you. Yeah. Absolutely. You got YouTube and Twitch? I had a Twitch, but it went away. Yeah, I go to meetings. I just came from one. And I got my 4-year chip today. Praise God. Welcome into the new folks. Trolling will be addressed, so please be respectful of our hostess and other chatters. Thank you. Thank you. Like, comment, and subscribe as well. Lady Diana's in here. Hey, Lady Di. Sobriety is the topic. Yes. Your neighbor is Satan. Just tell him to get thee behind me. Get us all a shirt that says, try Jesus, not me. You're welcome, Lee Turner. We keep the faith, we pray. Devil don't like it. He don't like it at all. When you're trying to do good, I have a printed My zero hoodie from Rose idea. I don't know who Gabby is, but hey, I'm good, Queen. How are you and the young kid doing? They're doing great. Mr. I think for myself, who is this? Is this Narmer X, or is this my boy you be changing your name a lot. I smoke, but I can't smoke like that. I only comfortable smoking at home. You can't be out in these streets and smoking and be in a different mindset because your guards is down. You got to stay on your pivot at all times, and that's another thing too. It really does lower your ability, and people be thinking, no, I got it, I'm good, all that. You know how many times I've driven drunk? I've driven drunk so many times. I've hit people being drunk. I mean, you think you got it until you don't. We really don't. I can't even smell any weed or cigarette smoke. Yeah, sometimes it bothers people. Nothing wrong with that square life. Yeah, I've always been L7 for sure. My brother's like, you're the adopted one because you're the only one that ain't been to jail yet. And I wear it with a badge of honor. Don't play with it because I'm doing great. Me dating these older women, the smell of Carefree Curl Activator and Virginia Slims brings back good memories. You do that, Thunder. I need to know the age range that you are dating, sir. First time I smoked weed was 18 and I was the only girl. This boy tried to get in my pants. I said, weed ain't that strong, bro. I know that's right. I may be laughing at everything, but you ain't getting in these pants. You ain't about to laugh the pants off of me. As we all know, I'm an angel. For real. No, really. Is that so, Couch? I'm done smoking too. Got to be clean to get a CDL. That's right, yeah. That's one thing you don't want to be a smoker on these roads, driving them 18-wheelers, hauling all that shit, and your mind is somewhere else. Nah. It sounds good, just to be in a different headspace and cool, calm, and collected on the road, the open road. The world is yours type, but absolutely not. Because your reactions are going to be slowed down, right? So if you're getting your CDL, congrats to you. Keep at it. No smoking. Stay clean. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Be around people that don't smoke, for sure, for sure. CDT says, yeah, I don't smoke or drink around my mom. I was with her Christmas stone cold sober, and she tells me that she's proud of that. That's right. And the fact that you can do that is amazing. The oil was calamus. Okay. I have to look that up. Chell says, I only smoked like 3 times in my life and never gotten drunk, but I have had alcohol. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with drinking alcohol, I don't think. I just think it's, you just got to do it in moderation. That's all. Do it in moderation. When it becomes a problem for you and you become a whole nother person and you're neglecting yourself and others, that's a problem. And there's nothing wrong with getting help. The world is worse now than before the flood. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Lauren Krause. Couch, I used to be bad. I would drink a 5th a day and a 6-pack along with weed. Yeah. It be like that sometime. Sometimes it be like that. Thank you, Lee Turner. Thank you, Lady Di. AA is a cult, though. I made a new through Jesus. I do not identify as an addict. Okay. Yeah, to each his own. I'm not on here advocating for AA. I'm advocating for a better way of life and changing how we do things and getting closer to the Most High. But I will tell you this. I've always had a relationship with the Most High. And when I got sober, I started getting more involved in church. But for me, it wasn't enough. We even had a sober small group in my church, if you will. And it just wasn't enough. And I started going to AA. And the principles of AA have helped me to get closer to the Most High, to be honest. It has heightened and increased my spirituality. And that's the God's honest truth, you know. So I'm not here advocating for it. I'm just telling you what it's done for me. It's helped me. It's helped me, you know. Thanks, cows. Jamie, nobody told me we was in here now. What up, Go Creek Creek? Your live was great yesterday. I didn't watch all of it. I went back today and I was like, oh my gosh, she was on for 6 hours. I heard Derek talking about something. I was like, let me go before he starts singing again. So excited for you, Mo. You are working very hard and setting a great example for the future of the youth. I am trying, honey. I am trying. Especially when I'm out with family. I am the security. That's right. What up, Ace OG? How are you? I got to go back and watch your live earlier as well. Yeah, when you out and about and with family and you got your gun on me, and that's one thing too. I waited until I was sober for at least a year, I think, before I got, well, no, because let me see. No, I got my gun before I was sober. But I wanted to make sure that I was in a headspace where I would be responsible with it, you know? So I got it, and I don't think I went and shot it until I had like 6 months later. But you can't be high or drunk with the weapon and you out protecting your family, right? It just all doesn't go to, I mean, just think about that scene, right? So we just have to be careful and mindful of what we are responsible and who we are responsible for, you know? So shout out to you, CDT. You know, when we home, I can chill, I can do my thing. But when we out and about, I need a clear head, because we're living in a spiritual battlefield right now. Everything is spiritual. Everything. From driving to just interacting with strangers. You know, when you're sober, you have a clearer mind and you can feel when something is amiss. But when you drunk or high, we miss a lot of that. We miss a lot of that. Crickery, I thought I shared the live to your Discord. I could have only shared it to mine. Oh, thanks, ChelseaLynn, for putting it out there. That was so sweet of you. Oh, okay, that's Ali Turner. Yeah. Not the Virginia Slims. I remember I went to my ex-husband's house. We were celebrating something. I don't know. You Mexicans, they party. That was my first husband, was a Hispanic, just so y'all know. But they like to party, and one of his sisters, that's all she smoked was Virginia Slim. So I was smoking them, drinking tequila, yeah. Not my smoke, but you know. Aaron says, Mom was on the vodka for the smell. When me and Dad found out and she went to first rehab, we cleaned out the house, bottles hidden behind things under every bathroom and kitchen counter. Absolutely. Yeah. That's what alcoholics do. White diamonds, not the white diamonds. Oh my God, my mom wore white diamonds. And my grandpa used to gift us Chanel No. 5 every Christmas. I'm like, Grandpa, just because it costs a lot, don't mean. So I would just give her my bottle. So my mom always had 2 bottles. Discord playing games. If Couch is an angel, then I'm a saint. I know that's right. Couch a damn lie. Saint Cedric, yeah, right. Damn, why people calling me when I'm listening to Mo? Cause they want to hate. Couch an angel of what? All things hell. Ooh. Ooh. CDT is awesome. He is awesome. That's my dude. That's my boy. Thank you all. I wasn't always like this. I used to be really bad with the alcohol. Me too. I've lost a lot of, not a lot, but a couple of relationships over alcohol. And it really saddens me, because it's like there's nothing I can do to take it back. I can't, you know, I've apologized. I've written letters. I've done things. And, you know, part of being sober, some of the things we just can't take back, but we can always like make a living amends and just do right by those that are involved in our lives now. You know, we can't take none of that back. But we can definitely try our best to make up for it, you know, and just be a better person. Because at the end of the day, we're accountable to the Most High. We're not accountable to people like that. We're accountable to Him. If we are accountable to Him, it'll be easy to be accountable for the people that we're responsible for and the people that we're around. Just like that. My ex had a horrible drinking problem, traumatizing because I never grew up around that or knew the signs of someone who had a problem. Yeah, you witnessed it firsthand. I went through that with a family member, and I had to teach her until I realized I couldn't. That's right, mixed chick. They got to want it for themselves. They have to want it for themselves. You can tell somebody all day. You can preach to them. You can give them books. You can say, hey, let's go here to that. They have to want it here. Like Jihan said, you got to want it here. You got to want it. It starts from within. You can always make notice and let them know how, what they do makes you feel, or, the effects of what they are doing. But at the end of the day, they have to want it. And honestly, I've only had one person in my entire life that told me, you probably have a problem. Do you think you need to slow down? One person out of all the years that I was drinking. A fifth is a lot. Yeah, that's right. CDT didn't gain years on his life just from cutting that out. I know it, do couch. My ex used church as an excuse to not go to AA. He said it's not Christian counseling, but you just prove, Mo, why both are great tools to utilize. Absolutely. When you look at you guys look up the 12 steps in alcohol, and it talks about, just being accountable, really. Relying on the Most High. First of all, admitting that you have a problem, and then relying on God to help you stay sober. You have to rely on him, and then you have to start thinking about things that trigger you, things that will take you back to alcohol. And then when you think about the things that will trigger you, the people, places, and things, you have to work out. This is called step work. You have to work out why these things trigger you. And guess what? Your role in all of it. It takes it back to me. Well, what was my role in that? Oh, okay. It helps you break it down. And then once you break that down, you start to learn all of your character defects, things that are wrong with you, right? Are you impulsive? Are you angry? Are you fearful? Are you prideful? Do you have a big ego? It's literally a whole page full of character defects, things that you can identify about yourself that made you pick up the bottle. Because alcohol is not the problem, it's you. It's what I got going on in here that makes me want to drink. And once you identify these things, you can start working on them daily, right? And you start giving back, and you connect with like-minded people. And then they don't have to be in AA, just in the world. You want to connect with people that are on the same frequency as you. And you just start living a better life. And then you start carrying the message, But you do right by the people. In between there, it says you have to you have to talk to people that you've done bad. And try your best to make up for it. Some will accept it, some won't. But the goal is to just do better so that you don't have to feel like you need a drink in order to cope with life. Since I've been sober, my mother passed. Okay, that was unexpected. My sister passed from an overdose. Unexpected. My baby sister. Okay? All kinds of other things. Just life. But guess what? I have not picked up a drink through all of that. And I'm going to tell you what. Because God has given me the strength to get through that. Something I never would have thought I would do. But also because of the family that I have in AA that helps me to stay sober. So, do what you will. God can do anything. Everybody don't need AA. Absolutely not. I needed it. A-team, yeah, a fifth is a lot of liquor. And I will run through a bottle a night. Psh, amen. That fifth was nothing. Okay? Thank you so much, Mixed Chick. Beautiful. I appreciate you so much. You guys don't have to send super chats. You really don't. But if you do, I appreciate it. That's really sweet. Aaron Laura says, Derek's always talking about something. Aaron Laura was getting in there and everybody asked about that fish and spaghetti, boy. A-Team says, I apologize, Go Creaky. I'm engaged and forgot to text you. The fish and spaghetti slander was pissing me. You was not pissed. You love it. We know you love it, guy. Shout out to you for the love. Yeah, mixed chick. So appreciate it. I grew up with alcoholic people, both my father and husband, but I still didn't like it because their personalities changed for the worse. They were generally great men. Yeah, a lot of great people drink to cope. You know, you could be a great person. And that was one thing that even stopped me from getting sober, because I was like, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to. I'm taking care of my family. I'm making money. I'm going to work. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I ain't got to change nothing about me. I'm handling business. I'm a great person. But I was slowly killing myself, and I wasn't attentive enough to my child. It used to be I would wait till I got him done work and shower, bed, you know, bath and bed and all that before I would drink and smoke. Then it got to the point where I was drinking all day, every day, and would get home and drink before I could engage. Something wrong with that. That part, Mo, I knew I wasn't in the right headspace, so I stayed away from guns. I'm better now, so we strap. That's right. You got to keep Blicky on you at all times, man. No worries. Yep, I have to be on point in public. You got to. You have to. Do you see what is happening around here? Yeah, thank you, mixed chick. CDT, my ex-wife is Hispanic as well, Puerto Rican from, and they like to party. They like to drink. So, you know, I was at a point where, you know, I didn't hang out with nobody that didn't drink or smoke. I was like, something wrong with you. Yep, I hit liquor too. If you look back at those actions, it's embarrassing. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're welcome. 18, no, not really. She was older than me. I think she like 50. Whoa. CDT. 55. Your ex-wife was 55. Well, she's 55 now. Wow. Aaron Lauren says, good afternoon. We see you, Aaron Lauren, even though you can't see everybody else. Donna says, older ladies who know what Tussie is. The older crowd knows. I remember that Tussie, that roll-on. My mom would buy that when she was low on funds and she needed some deodorant and she couldn't afford it good. She would get that Tussie. Ciao. Pace. Enjoy your workout. CDT said, salute, Aaron. Michael Love says, I fall in love with any woman wearing the white diamond scent. I'm like Pepe Le Pew over that scent. Oh my God, not white diamonds. You guys got to get on that Ariana Grande Love Notes. That's my scent right now. But my favorite is Daisy by Marc Jacob, the original. That's my favorite scent. And then Gucci Rush 2, which I can't find anywhere. I can't find Gucci Rush 2. But those are my favorites right there. I ain't wore white diamonds in eons. Yeah, I know, Cree. CDT says, facts, they have to wait for themselves. Until then, you can't tell them anything. Sometimes something traumatic has to happen first, Sally. Yeah. I mean, when you listen to the stories of these guys, it was like, oh, this was my 7th DUI, and I went to court, and the judge threw the hammer at me, and now I got to come to these meetings, and I ended up liking it, and now I've been sober for 30 years. Like, the stories you hear are crazy. Every alcoholic has a different story, but yeah, sometimes it's the yet. Like, I haven't yet, you know what I'm saying? And I used to judge people in them like, at least I ain't. But how egotistical of me, because we all ended up in the same place. Chelsea says, definitely have to be ready to do it or it won't work. That's right, Michael Love. I have that white diamond. I showed it on Creaky. That was the first time I met everyone. Lord Jesus, not ChelseaLynn, young ass with the white diamonds. CDT says, if you want an extreme eye-opener, go to the club sober and watch. It will disgust you. Absolutely. When you're sober and you're around drunk people, it is just, first of all, it's annoying, you know, because you can't get on their level. And then just being sober and watching how people are, it is crazy. And the one person that told me maybe you should stop, I was in Korea. And we were dating, but we both ended up at the club some time. And I was so drunk, I didn't even recognize him at first, you know. And when I did, I was embarrassed because I was done for. And the next day, he was like, he said, you know what, Mo? You was in rare form. I was like, whoa. When he said that, it was like a gut punch. And he said, you know, maybe, you know, do you think you should maybe cut back? And I was like, yeah, I don't know what I said. I'm pretty sure I was defensive, but for him to say you was in rare form, he said, you want me to tell you? I said, nope. Because I was a blackout drunk. I would drink so much to where I didn't know what was going on. I just know I would end up waking up in my bed and be like, oh, thank you, Lord, because I don't know how I got here, you know? So, yeah. AA and Al-Anon, absolutely. Thunder says it sounds like reverse engineering, and I love that process. Yep. Chelsea says accountability was an issue for my ex. I knew it was bad when he was telling the story of his first DWI before I knew him, and said I wouldn't have gotten pulled if my tail light wasn't out. Yeah. But that's how God works, you know? By him getting pulled over, that probably saved somebody else's life. You know, and when you see a lot of drunks in these horrible car crashes, they sometimes are the only ones that walk away while everybody else perishes. And that's really unfortunate. You know? Sorry to hear, damn, that's rough. Perfume, thank you guys. Yeah. I'm younger than mixed chick. I'm shocked she didn't know white diamonds. I remember them days. Yeah, Cree. That fifth might as well have been a 2-ounce can. I drank it straight out the bottle. Woo, CDT. I know you got a lot of hair on your chest, bruh. CDT got a whole lot of talk on me. Don't like the smell of that old lady perfume. Me either. White Diamonds was a perfume promoted by Elizabeth Taylor. That's right, Michael Love. No fish and spaghetti slander. Fish goes with spaghetti. I said what I said. Blasphemy. Lady Di says, at Winston Jackson, so very sorry to hear this. Your brother is in no more pain. Please take one day at a time. Remember the time he was here with you, filled with love. He is good now. That's right. I didn't see what he said, but yeah, prayers to you, Mr. Winston. It does not, baby powder, I don't know how, but we're going to leave it at that. I'm going to go put that white diamonds on right now since we talking about it. I love that scent. It is a designer classic. It is. Amari from Avon smell like old ladies. I remember Avon. Yeah, Avon also sold like a baby scent too. It was a baby perfume. I used to love that stuff. Yeah, she would drink and dance for hours on hand, like 4 hours straight. Wow. I remember Tussie was in a jar, but they also had the roll-on Tussie. Look it up. They had the roll-on Tussie. Trust me, I know. She was 34 when I met her. Oh wow. She was a cougar. Okay. They say them older ladies know what they want. I thought about ordering other perfume bottles just to fill white diamonds in so no one talks trash about my old lady perfume. Nah. Oh, Moonlight. Okay, I haven't seen Moonlight. I know she's got the cloud ones. And then the one that I like, the note, love notes. Yeah. Look, smell love notes. Get that for your wife. It's a good scent. Somebody said, "Ooh, you smell like $1 million." I was like, for real? I love Ariana Grande. Gotta go try that scent because I've seen it in Belks. It's good. It's a good scent. It's a little expensive, but it's good. I think it's 80. It might be 100, but I go on base and get it, and it's like 85. Aqua de Gio. Pink Cloud. No, I don't like Pink Cloud. I smelled it. I did not care about it. I didn't care for it. What about the essence of sweaty sack? No thanks. I'll pass. I mean on a man, that is. Ain't nothing like a man's man. My son went out and raked all of the pine needles that fell from the tree in front of our house because the HOA, which I have to address, hasn't gotten the lawn people to get all them I mean, it's piled up. If somebody lit a match, it would all go up in flames. So the part that's right in front of my house, I said, son, I need you to go and do this. You don't want to break. You a man's man. We ain't raising no punks right yet. You know that? So he got out there and he raked, and it ended up being 6 big 40-gallon trash bags. You know, them lawn bags, the big, thick black ones. 6. He ended up raking that whole area. And I was so proud of him. He didn't, and that's the thing that I love about my son. He does not complain. He just do. Now, when it comes to that Roblox, that's a whole nother situation. That's when we have beef. But other than that, say wash the dishes, he don't mind. He'll put his little iPad on, put some stupid shorts on about whatever, or whatever he be watching, his anime, and he'll just do the dishes, standing on top of his thing. Go outside and rake the front, son. Where's the rake? You know where the rake is. Okay, Mom. Out there getting it. And I told him, I said, look, the one thing I love about you, son, is that you don't mind getting your hands dirty. Huh? You don't mind getting your hands dirty. A real man don't mind getting his hands dirty. Then I had to break it down from literally to figuratively. What that means, getting your hands dirty. And I love that about my son. I have 1 DUI that they bust down, reckless driving, but I should have like 12. Absolutely. Boy, oh boy. God's grace. God's grace. Because if you only knew. I remember one time I was drunk and I tapped this one dude. I thought he had backed up into me. I'm so drunk I didn't even realize I took my foot off of the gas and bumped into him and he got out, black dude, and he looked at me and he just shook his head and was like, he was like, whatever. Light blue DNG. Oh yeah, that's a good smell. Yes, I've smelled that before. What's that? I didn't read it. Oh, I have that as well, KK. It's a nice soft scent. I wear Eros. It drives the broads crazy. Y'all know my scent for men is Usher's cologne. Usher, that scent is the bomb. But I haven't seen it. I don't know if it still sells. Mom was blackout drinking too. I'm so happy for you. I know it can't have been easy, Mo. Congratulations. Thank you. No, it wasn't easy. But I promise you, God took away the desire. He definitely did. It had to be something supernatural. You don't just stop from being an alcoholic and a weed head every single day to nothing. There has to be something greater than you that he put inside of me. So he gets all the praise and all the glory. Huge G, you ain't lying. When I wear Versace Eros, woman in public always say something. Yeah, Versace Eros. I'm gonna have to remember that for when I get a man. But right now I'm single and ready to mingle. Not really. I got an or more channel. Chanel number 5. No. Chanel number 5. No, ma'am. I ain't even reading the rest of your comment. Because, KK, is the juice worth the squeeze? Help get my scent game up. Yeah. Cougars is making a come. They are. There's a lot of women vying for young men now. I'm good. That's because the men our age don't want us. They want younger. So it's like, hey, we might as well join it. You know? Y'all got to remember, y'all the leaders. You guys set the standard. You know? So we just follow and lead. I don't know, perfumes. I just get whatever smells nice and is cheap from the Walmart or the pharmacy. Yep. Sometimes they have the name brand scents at like the Walmarts and stuff. When you go in that scent, you'll see bottles of stuff there for under $20. This makes me want to cry because I had to step in for my nephews because of alcohol. It's a very dangerous thing. Absolutely. It affects so much more than just yourselves, you know? So if you have a problem, seek help and look inward and just know that, you know, God has something better for you. If it's cheap and smells like Christmas or strawberries, I'm sold. Waking up in a strange hotel room with a wad of cash, not remembering what city I was in, but I was glad to find out I did great at craps table the night before. Thunder you, wow. Mixed chick, it is a very dangerous game. Yeah. Or them coins. That's good for him. That will get him through life for real. There's a unisex scent called Chelsea. It's $500. I just can't justify that over my name. Nah, hell nah. I ain't spending $500 for no. The most I've ever spent was $120, I think. Huge G. I'm not even reading that, bro. You wild. Real talk. God got me through all of it. Absolutely. Only God would. The best way to pick a sin as a man is to ask a woman. That's true. This man smells so good when I seen him. That makes me miss him. I don't like that. I know. Yep, because now you got that olfactory scent. So you just remembering that scent. Yeah. Hopefully you guys will get to see each other at YSL. Victor and Rolf. Okay. Look at the green logbook. Oh, man. Look at my brother in arms. Y'all make sure y'all check out his channel, especially if you're a veteran, CDT. Check out the green logbook. Green logbook. Check out CDT. Very good information. Very good information. And just a real cool dude. He's a Marine. Semper Fi. I smelled YSL on Christmas. I didn't care for it. I heard of Spice Bomb. No, this man's cocky ass said he always get compliments on his scent. I didn't believe it till I met him. Yeah. Now you gonna be worried, huh, ChelseaLynn? Ah. Man, I went to the eye doctor and the lady thought I was my son's sister. That's good. That's a compliment. That means you take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't look like what you've been through. I use Scentbird sometimes. Okay, I gotta try Scentbird. I heard that they have a lot of good dupes on there that smell just like it. I buy perfumes that mix well with my amen, A-team. Listen, my friend wore Dior, I think. Dior or there was another one. And I loved it. So I went and got it. It didn't smell the same on me. I was like, it don't smell like when my friend wear it. You know, and she had to break it down. Well, our body chemistries are different. And mind you, remember I was an alcoholic and a smoker. And so for me, it didn't work the same. Let's just say that. So yeah, every scent don't smell good on everybody. Yeah, you can't justify buying that. The great thing about cougars and pumas, depending on how old they are great companions and they make great company. Also, no fear of child support payments. That's true. See, there are pros to dating older women. You know what I'm saying? Most of us don't want or need your money. You know, we just want to have good time. And we just want somebody with stamina that ain't, you know, that ain't got ED. Okay? That's it. If you got stamina and a little sense of humor and you like to eat, come on over to my place. Greenlock Book says, I just walked into the chat all about scents, huh? It's all about gypsy water. Okay. Yeah, Greenlock Book, I'm just talking about sobriety and how I got my 4-year sober chip today. 4 years sober, clean and sober, praise God. Thank you for subscribing to the Greenlock Book. He's a cool dude. And he gives out a lot of information and he's very inspiring to people that are transitioning from active duty to retirement or separation. And he's just full of knowledge. And I could tell he's a good man, you know. Chelsea says, nah, I ain't worried because when he texted me immediately after he left, I was like, oh, okay, so he still likes me. Of course he still like you, Chelsea. You cool. Look at Daniel Cunningham. What it do? I'm older than the guy I'm talking to by a couple years. That's cool. You could teach him some things. Prada Paradigm is a really good one, though. Prada Paradigm. Okay, I have to check that one out. Thanks, Greenlock Book. Beta Moore. Hey, how you doing, Bakari? Oh, it's unisex. I like unisex scents. I do. I really do. I used to dress very tomboyish. Not until I got older did I start wearing like dresses and showing a little bit of cleavage and things like that, just because of my past and things that happened to me when I was younger. So I always covered up, always, you know what I'm saying, had on double shirts and things like that. And I was into there was a unisex by Polo, I think, that I used to wear when I was younger. CDT Chelsea, just don't play any games with him. Then he gonna see that little girl from Remember the Titans. Oh, Lord. Green Logbook. Thank you, sir. You did not have to do that, but I appreciate you. I'm doing good today. Yesterday, I was a little down in the dumps. But, no, the day before yesterday, I was a little down in the dumps. But I'm much better. Much better, thank God. And thank you for asking. Yes, sir. I think we all used to dress like dudes back then. Yeah, especially because TLC and stuff like that, and they dressed in baggy. So I always had on baggy pants. Like if I show you some of my kid books or kid pictures, you guys will see I had, you know, like flannel button up, or I was just always covered, you know. And And then I remember the one time I decided to go to school in high school. I remember my mom used to always wear bodysuits, and she would buy us bodysuits. You know, the ones where it snapped down here. And I wore that. And this one had like a string where you could tie, and you could kind of see some of my cleavage in between. And I remember this dude in high school saw me, and he was shocked, like, whoa. And this fool actually went out to reach to touch my breast. And I smacked his hand like, what the fuck is you thinking? Never again after that. I said, I don't like this attention. And I was in the 5th grade with big boobs. I was a B cup in the 5th grade. And so it was embarrassing back then, you know, having a chest and you're young. It's not, it just wasn't a good feeling, you know. And that was one thing that attracted my predator to me too. So I always dressed with a lot of clothes. CDT, he's already seen it. I got that out of the way first. He got to see if this is what he wants. Wait, CDT seen what? Wait, what did he see? Oh, the little girl. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's very important to show all sides of who you are when you're meeting somebody instead of camouflaging, you know, who you are and being a representative all the time. I don't think it's right, and I don't think it's fair, and I think it's very deceptive. And, you know, a lot of single mothers get a lot of slack for, you know, picking wrong. But I'm going to tell you something. A lot of things that people don't consider is that a lot of men, I'm not saying all, but a lot of men show a representative until shit hits the fan. And I'm not saying having sex premarital is good, but it is something that happens. A lot of people do it because it is socially acceptable, and we don't shame premarital sex fornication anymore. It's just out in the open, and now you have people teaching you how to have better SEX and all that, right? Rather than telling you to be abstinent until you find the right one. So unfortunately, we're out here having these relations and we're falling in love. And when a woman is treated good, especially like in my case, I've had a couple of men that treated me like a queen, right? And we broke up for different reasons. But my child's father treated me like a queen, like he was one of the best boyfriends I ever had. And we were together for 2 years. You understand? And should I have been having unprotected sex with him? No. But I did. And we created a child. And he left while I was pregnant. But I would have never in a million years thought that he would abandon us like that. You know? So he didn't show all of those sides. He didn't show the cowardice side of him, because if I thought he was a pussy, I would have never opened my legs to him. Real talk. If I thought you was a punk like that, there's no way. But I did, because all I saw was a good man. Somebody that came through. When my mom had her foot amputated and I had to go to California, he took 3 flights just to leave Portugal to come there to be with me for support. So I thought he was a good man, and that if things got tough, he would be there for me. But he wasn't. So I need y'all to back up off of single mothers that fall for men. So keep showing all the sides of who you are. That way he can make a clear decision on whether he wants to fuck with you or not, Chelsea. Let him see who you are. Real talk. Sigma boy. Yeah. What up, the sniper? I had that happened to me in school, but I layered tanks all the time. You have to. Hey, Pavel. Well done. That is true. Facts, Mo. This is a good economic sense. Latafa Factory by... Okay, let me take a screenshot of that. I gotta go, guys. My son got a hair appointment at 3. What's crazy? I missed it. They never do. Sorry, Mo. My ex-husband left me. I never thought he would have either. Exactly. People just change. People flip the script. They really do. You know? They just do. I mean, I don't know what to... They just do. And I will be honest and say, I have to take accountability. I can't just put that all on him, because I played a role in it, and that's what sobriety does. It makes you see things from a better perspective, from a point where you can take accountability. And I take accountability for having premarital sex. I take accountability for the way I hooked up with him. I take accountability for, you know, not protecting myself. I take accountability for not being more open and looking at any signs that this could happen. I take accountability for all of that, because you know what, guys? It takes two to tangle. Yeah, that's rough. I couldn't do that. I would never run out of my child. And my son is beautiful. Beautiful. I don't understand it either. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. God saved you and your son from coward behavior. At this point, that's what I believe. At this point, this is what I believe. I believe everything happens for a reason, and God knows what he's doing. God knows what he's doing. You know, there's a reason for everything, and that could be it. I'm not bitter at, I can't be. Listen, I heard somebody say this, and I said, that's it. How could I hate the person that helped me create the most beautiful and important thing in my life? I can't hate that man. I still got love for that guy. I really do. I just don't like his actions. But guess what? That's something that he has to deal with. That's something he has to take accountability for, not me, because I'm doing everything I'm supposed to. Everything. So I can't be bitter. You know? I love men. I love ya. Ooh, I love me some men. Bye. I love good men. Men that handle their business. Men that ain't afraid to get their hands dirty. Thanks for sharing that piece of your story. You're welcome, Green Log Book. Mick Chick says, yeah, single mom stayed in the hospital alone after a C-section. Yeah, my family came out for me. My mom was in the operating room with me when I had my C-section, because the cord was wrapped around his neck. So God is good. When I think about all the things that I've been through, gratitude is the key. Gratitude is the key. You have to have gratitude. When I was feeling down in the dumps the other day, I had to get myself up out of that mind frame. And I just had to start thinking and remembering all the things that God has done for me and where I am in my life and all of the things that I have. I have no reason to be down in the dumps. That's right. You have to see people at their worst to see if their worst is something you can handle. That part. That part. Mo, and he asked really good questions on FaceTime prior. He was really into Kevin Samuels later, so that explained why the questions were so good. Yeah. Kevin Samuels, I'm not a big fan, but I have watched some videos where I was like, he's making sense, and I like this. You know, I just didn't like his tactic and his tone for a lot of things. But overall, you know, the thing is, you got to take the meat and drop the fat. And that's what I had to do when it came to him. I was with him for 12 years. Signs were there, but I ignored them, and we do. Because we love somebody. We do. What's the difference between Batman and a black man? Batman can go outside at night without robbing. Ain't nothing behind me. He is. Right, CDT, you need to see them in all seasons of life to know how they handle adversity and challenges. Thanks, Cree. I know nothing went behind me. I know y'all got my 6. I love you too, Mo. I think all of the successful children whose mom and dad walked out of them, it's always their loss. You know? Yes, slay black men. Slay. Yeah, shout out to all of the black men out there doing their thing. Salute to you, the ones that take care of their families, that protect their families, that go to work. Just being a good man overall. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. And shout out to the men that are in my life that take my son under their wing. I got a cousin, Halim, who comes in the chat sometimes. Not on the chat, but he'll leave comments or whatever. He's the one that's paying for my son to learn another language, you know. And he's just one of the most beautiful people I've ever met, you know. And he'll call my son and talk to him and stuff like that. And, you know, like, you know, our youth pastor at the church, like, he plays chess with my son, takes him, you know, and just like soccer coach, you know, like, these are good men that I surround my son with, you know, and I try my best to be an example. I try to be the type of woman that I would want him to bring home to me. And it better be a black woman. Ooh, I'm thankful, Callie says. Yeah. Mo, I feel you. It can happen when we least expect it from the good ones. We love good men. Yes, we do love good men. And it just, that representative, it just really sucks. And I swear I keep going back thinking about signs. And I can come up with maybe one. But other than that, I'm like, I would have never thought. The Green Logbook says there is an absence in men being true men that I've noticed. Yes, being a father and a partner is a constant work in progress. It can never be perfected, but always requires attention and fine tuning. That's right. You got to pay attention to what's going on. Oh, my kids have been quiet for the last week. What's really going on? Let me take them to the side and let's go do some things and figure out what's going on and see if they open up. And, you got to be available for your family. Thank you very much for still loving us good men. Of course I love good men. Absolutely. I can't, just because one was a coward and walked out and ain't doing what he's supposed to do, I'm not going to take that out on the next one. Absolutely not, because I don't want nobody taking what I've done out on other people. You know what I'm saying? Don't, what she did, that ain't me. That ain't me. You know what I'm saying? So I can't do that. Absolutely not. But I'm not going to bash other women in the process of loving men. That's where I draw the line. Don't bash women just so that men will. That never works, honey. It never works, because they're not going to choose you no way. So I can stand up for women and be an advocate for women, as well as still love the good men out here in the world. Yeah, life is getting better. Bakari says, I'm a good man, but I'm into polygamy, and that makes me an evil man. Well, it doesn't make you evil. It just makes you a little delusional. But that's good to know, Bakari. Chew the meat, spit out the bones. That's right. Glad you're doing good, young Riaz. Chelsea says, yeah, that's what me and this guy discussed. How the tone delivery is wrong, but the questions are good versus what's... Yeah, exactly. What's your favorite color? If you don't get out of here, challenge me. Let me think. Get to know me. Who am I? You got to know who you are. But be careful telling him every single thing, ChelseaLynn. You got to know his intentions and his motives behind certain questions as well. Some things have to remain a mystery, my dear, especially in the beginning stages, I believe. Because you don't want him to mirror you. You don't want him to know all of the things you do and like and your triggers and all that. Not saying that he will ever use it against you, but you also want him to be authentic in who he is, regardless of who you are and what you like, because you want to be able to know who he is. So don't tell him everything. Just let him be who he is, and then you can decide on whether that's what you want or not. I couldn't imagine not being in my kid's life. I'm struggling with my oldest, but I'll never turn my back on her. That's right. Never turn your back on your kids. Always be open. They can be a-holes and B's sometimes, but all you can do is just keep showing up for them the best way that you can. Riaz is open to the possibility of 4 wives. However, I prefer one wife because I'm realistic. You got to be realistic. I tried to talk to you up to my little brother the other day. I forgot to tell. Oh, snap. We got another line connection. Keep your options open, Chelsea, as well. Okay? This man said, if I have a family, I want to be for the life, 2 parents raising kids. That's right. Absolutely. Two is always better. I'm never, ever going to advocate to be a single parent. Never. 2 is always better than 1. You need that balance, because as a woman, I can only do so much. Right? So I have to be a nurturer, and I have to bring the hammer down. And that's hard to flip-flop from being the nice nurturing to, it is tough. I don't wish this life on nobody. But through the grace of God, He's given me the strength, and I'm doing the best that I can. Absolutely. Love a man that is a real man. I hurt the fuck out of that if she can't use her comb. That's right. Don't bring her home. I wouldn't even want to deal with 4 women. 1 is enough, plus I have 3 daughters. There are enough women in I know that's right. That's a lot of estrogen going around. Does he come to the lives? He probably be in there. Bush watching. Black Muslim woman in the future. Okay. Not helping Chelsea build a roster. You got to have a roster. Hey, what up, Justo? Salute. Would you rather be an invincible bear or an invincible goat? I got to see how this goes with this man's. I've got my doubts. I mean, you should always have, you know, he's got to get through those layers. Just don't expose everything at once, y'all. That's all I'm saying. Get to know him slowly, but don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's all I'm saying. Thank you, A-Team. Also, people will show you who they are before they tell you. Absolutely. But they also will tell you. That's why it's very important to listen to what they're saying as well as what they do. Because if their actions don't align with what they've said, we got a problem. So always listen to a fool will tell you real quick. I get manipulated easy. That's probably why he's been very authentic so far. That's good. Don't let him know that, though. Oh, there's a girl from his IG that was sent. Yeah, she trying to be messy. She want to see who you are and all up in your business. I hope you didn't accept it. I like minding my business and I don't know her. He said that's his ex. She found me and just from liking his pic. Yeah, so she gonna message you soon. I would just keep that as a note in the back. You know, it's not necessarily a red flag, but just keep it in mind. And that's another reason why I say keep your options open. You hear that, CDT? That's why she need to keep her options open. Y'all, I'm outnumbered like a mug, and they take my stuff, socks, blankets, shirts, everything. Yeah, except for yeah. Like, why you got on my t-shirt, bruh? You guys, I do have to go. My son has a hair appointment at 3 o'clock, and yeah, no good will come of except don't do. I mean, I wouldn't suggest it. If you bored and you just want to accept it just to see what's up. But there's no good will come of it. It's really gonna just bring drama and turmoil and a mess. So if you want to be in that, then go for it. But I personally, I would not do that if I were you, young lady. 18 says, I bless God for late husband. I don't know what my children would be if I had to raise them alone. I admire you guys raising children alone and not continue. Yeah, one was enough for me to realize this ain't the life. This ain't the life. So what I look like having another and then another by another and another? Hell no. Hell no. I would block her too. But Chelsea nosy. That's the problem. Chelsea is too inquisitive and she has a curious mind. And sometimes it's going to get you in trouble. It's going to get you in trouble. Not to mention the fact that these people aren't local. They're long distance. You can't be... in 2026, I'm not letting anything that happens on this device get in here. No longer. Bliggity blah. Bliggity blah. I can't. They got the Braves blanket on lock. That ain't yours no more. I just have had that requesting sit in there. Yeah. I would just go ahead and deny it, decline, whatever it says. Just go ahead and do it now. She only gonna put some BS in your head. I mean, that's really just it. That's it. Y'all know what's up. Because we've been there before, Chelsea. We telling you from experience, my dear. So you can either be wise and listen to somebody else's experience and say, ooh, that probably isn't a good idea. Or you can learn the hard way. And then you'll be on live talking about, y'all, guess what this bitch texted me? Guess what she got on her page? A picture of him last Christmas. Who wants to go through that? This is 2026. We not paying attention to no BS no more. Yeah, that blanket is gone. I even bought them their own, but they want it because it's mine. Yeah, they only want it because it's yours. They only want it because it's yours. But y'all, I gotta go. My son's appointment started at 3 and I haven't even got home to tell him to put on his socks and shoes. Bad mom. But if I had a man, guess what? He would be cutting his hair or taking him to the barbershop. So this is something I got to do because I'm a single mom. Chelsea, honestly, you should miss it. I ain't no good gonna come from this chick because why is she popping up now? Yeah, because she knows you and she knows about you. So the thing is this, he's talking about you to her red flag. Or she's following him still. Why are they following each other on IG if they're exes? Number two, another red little just a note. Either he's talking about you to her, or she's on following him, and she sees that you are, in his comments and liking his stuff. So now she wants to know, who is this? Because she still feels like there's a chance for them. Otherwise, she wouldn't care. So, thanks, Erin Laura. You as well. Thank you. Yeah, CDT. All red. I'm sorry. And he's a follower of Kevin Samuels. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, because a lot of people admire him. But all of the things that you said so far, I need some redeeming qualities. Next thing you know, she go back and lie on you and telling him you stalking her. That could happen too, because people like to flip the script. I just wouldn't get involved. We too old for this, and now that we know better, we have to do better. I'm not saying you shouldn't. Your feelings are involved, so you ain't going nowhere right now. You still seeing what's to it. You guys aren't even committed. So whether he's still talking to his ex or not, honestly, that's none of your business, because you guys aren't committed to each other. Just keep a note of it. And that's why I say keep your options open. You should be talking to other people too, getting to know other people. And then let the best man win. Simple as that. It's just that simple. That's exactly what she's going to do, KK, or tell you that she gave him some recently. Yeah. Yes, we will talk soon, Lady Di. Love you. So you guys, I got to go. Thank you guys for coming on the live. I appreciate you all. Yeah, God bless. Just always do the next right thing. All right?